Hello, dear children. Now we are in the next chapter called Journal and Ledger, but we will learn how to prepare trial balance also. Okay. So before we start with our journal entries, uh, let us do the same kind of trick that we applied in case of accounting equation. Okay. So basically, what you are doing by this trick is to find the types of accounts that are involved in each transaction. Okay, so this is your first transaction, second transaction, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and this is the 10th. So this is the last one. So there are 10 transactions on different dates. Okay, you can see here the dates are almost in the order, okay, in the ascending order. Yeah, 5 is missing out here, okay, but the dates in other questions it can vary, okay. So in some question it may be given Roman number, okay, 1 2 3 4, okay, or maybe A B C D, okay, or the dates may vary like first, third, seventh, ninth, 13th, and then 15, okay, so like that the dates can be there, so you have to follow that. Okay, now this is your first transaction. So a person called Pachori Mal is starting a business with cash. Okay, so here we know that cash is involved, and what to write next, that will be your capital, because nothing is mentioned out here. So he's starting a business, so which means capital is involved. So whenever you start a business, always remember that capital is also involved. Okay, now on second, he is depositing into the bank. So what he is depositing, so he's depositing cash into the bank. So here two accounts are involved, cash and bank. Okay, now the next one, purchased goods from Raju. So here again two entries are involved, two accounts are involved. Okay, one is stock and the other one is your Raju. Okay, so Raju is your creditor, okay, from whom you will purchase on credit. But we will not write a stock account. We will simply write purchase account. Okay, so whenever you purchase anything, like be it furniture or okay, any type of asset, furniture, investment, uh, machineries, okay, land and building, or stationaries, whatever you purchase, you have to name that uh, asset. Okay, but if you purchase goods, if you are purchasing merchandise for your business, that is in order to resell it, we will simply write purchase. So always remember that if you purchase goods, then we will write purchase account. But if you purchase furniture, then we will write furniture account. Okay, that term purchase will only be used in case of purchasal of goods, okay, or merchandise. Okay, and by goods we mean the physical items of trade. Okay, so now you have to identify also. You have to identify. What to identify? You have to identify whether the transaction is cash transaction or credit transaction. Okay, so here cash or bank, nothing is mentioned, isn't it? So the name of a person from whom you are purchasing is mentioned. So it is your credit transaction. Okay, it is a credit transaction. And similarly, on this 4th of April, you can see out here, sold goods to Madan Mohan. You are selling goods to Madan Mohan. And cash or bank is silent. It's not mentioned out here. But the name of a person to whom you are selling, that is your debtor, is mentioned, Madan Mohan. So it is a credit transaction. So this is how you will identify whether the transaction is cash transaction or credit transaction. Okay, so received from Madan Mohan, you are receiving from Madan Mohan, but what you are receiving, nothing is mentioned. So by default it is assumed that you are receiving cash from Madan Mohan. So two accounts are involved, cash and Madan Mohan. Okay, paid salary. You are paying the salary, but how you will pay the salary? Okay, nothing is mentioned, cash or bank. So you will, by default, you will assume that it is cash. Okay, but if it is mentioned by check or bank, then the bank will be involved. But nothing is mentioned out here. Okay, the question is silent about it. So we will assume it to be cash. Okay, and here, purchased furniture. So in case of purchasal of furniture, we will not use the term purchase, but we will write the name of the asset, that is furniture. Okay, so we will write furniture account. But how you are purchasing, from whom you are purchasing, nothing is mentioned. Okay, if it was a credit transaction, then the party's name, okay, then the creditor's name will be mentioned. But here nothing is mentioned. Okay, and cash or bank is also silent about it. So we will assume that cash is involved by default. Okay. Similarly, here in paid wages, nothing is mentioned. So it is cash by default. Received commission. So you are receiving a commission, but how you are receiving the commission? Through cash or bank? Nothing is mentioned. So by default, it will be your cash account. Okay. Now paid to creditor Raju, from whom you purchased goods out here on 3rd of April. So you are making the payment of rupees 800. So how you are making the payment? Cash or bank? Nothing is mentioned. Again, by default, it is cash. Okay. So always remember that in case of journal, okay, in case of journal, you have to remember these three things. Okay. AIRRN. Let me just make it bold. Okay. AIIRN. So what is this? A. A means arrange. Let me just make it smaller. So always remember that in case of journal entries, you have to understand these things. Okay, AIRRN. Okay, one of my what do you say, colleague or my mentor, he taught me this. Okay, so I'm sharing the same information with you. Identify. Okay. R for record, and then N equals to narrate. So how to pass a journal entry? So to pass journal entries, you have to first arrange the given data. Okay. So in this question, the data is already arranged. Okay. All the data will be arranged. Okay. In a chronological order. Okay. So you have to arrange. Okay. So this will be done by the question itself. Okay. And then you have to identify. You have to identify whether a transaction is a cash transaction or credit transaction, or the transaction is related to purchase or sale or depositing into the bank or any kind of receipt. Okay. After identifying, you have to apply the golden rule. I hope by now you have learned the golden rule of accounting. Okay. So you have to apply in each and every single transaction, you have to apply the golden rule of accounting. Okay. After you identify what type of accounts are involved, what type of transaction is this. Okay. So you have to apply the golden rule of accounting. Okay. Debit the receiver, credit the giver for personal account. Okay. For real account, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. For nominal account, debit all the expenses and losses, and credit all incomes and gains. Okay. So after applying the golden rule, now you will record. Then you will pass the transaction. Before you pass the transaction, you have to apply the golden rule. Okay. Do that entry first mentally. First you have to understand that, and then you will record, isn't it? You think first and then you write. Okay. So first you will apply the golden rule. Okay. You will think about it, and then you will record the transaction. Okay. After you record, you will now narrate. You have to give narration to that particular entry. By narration, we mean that you just have to justify. Okay, it's just a rationale of the transaction, that what is happening in that transaction. So it is kind of a storytelling. Okay. So let us see how to pass the journal entries and what is the pro forma of journal. Okay. So this is your journal entry. Okay. So this is your journal entry. Always remember that this vertical line, the extreme vertical lines that are lying towards the extreme corner of your left hand side and the right hand side, okay, no need to make this. Okay, it's just a wastage of time. But since I'm doing in the computer, so it is like this. Okay, so there will be 5 columns out here. Okay, you have to learn this format: date, particulars, LF, debit amount, credit amount. Okay, so you can simply write the rupees sign. Okay, since I don't have the rupees sign in this keyboard, so I'm simply writing RS. Okay, don't write RS. We just simply write rupees sign. Okay, and it will be done. So the first column is date, second one is particulars, the third one is LF. LF stands for the ledger folio. Okay, we will understand what is ledger, okay, afterwards. And folio, folio means the number. Okay, whatever the transactions you record in the journal, it will have a ledger number. Okay, in the ledger you can uh, track that particular transaction. Okay, in which ledger number it is recorded. So practically these numbers will be very much helpful. Okay, when you work as a CA or an accountant uh, in some company. Okay, so out there you have to give the ledger folio also. Okay, but in journal normally we don't use the ledger folio numbers, but we give a space out here. Okay, ledger folio, this is a third column. The fourth column is your debit column. Okay, and the last one is your credit column. Okay, now first you will write the year if the year is mentioned in a question. Okay, after that you will write name of a month. Okay, and after that you will simply write the dates that are mentioned in the question. Okay, so let us start with the journal entries. I hope the both books and copies are in front of you. Okay, while watching the video I want you to uh, solve the question or copy whatever it is. Okay, at the same time you watch the video and you copy. Okay, don't wait the video to get completed. Okay, watch the video, you can pause it. Okay, you can copy and then again move ahead. Okay, so this is how you can do it. This will be more practical. Okay, and you will understand in a better way. Okay, so the first transaction on 1st April. Okay, you are starting a business with cash, so it will be cash account debit to capital account. Okay, we have already identified how many types of accounts are involved out here. Okay, so cash account debit to capital account. Now you have to apply the golden rule, as I said. So how will you apply the golden rule? Now see, cash is a real account. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So whenever you start a business, cash is actually coming inside the business, isn't it? So when the cash comes in, you will record in the debit side. When the cash goes out, you will record in the credit side. Okay, so you have to understand this debit side and the credit side. Okay, so this is your golden rule for cash. Cash is a real account. Debit what comes in. Okay, now capital. Capital is of liability nature. Okay, so capital is also a liability. don't think that capital is something different. No, it is a liability for the business. Okay, but it is a fixed type of liability. Okay, so this, since it is a liability nature, liabilities are always in the credit side. Okay, now the next entry, deposit it into bank. Now both these, cash and bank, are real account. Okay, oh sorry, I forgot about this narration. Okay, so at the end you have to pass, sorry, after passing a journal entry you have to write the narration also. So you will simply write, being started business with cash. So whatever is mentioned in the transaction, okay, whatever is given in the question, you just have to write it. Okay, but in brief you have to give the justification to that particular transaction. Okay, you have to explain that. Okay, you have to tell the story behind this particular transaction. Okay, why this transaction is occurring. Okay, why are you recording this transaction. Okay, what was the cause of the transaction, so you have to mention. Okay, so as I said that both these bank and cash, they are real account. Okay, so how to apply the golden rule out here? The golden rule will be of real account. Okay, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So whenever you deposit money into the bank account, in the bank, money will come in. Okay, it will come inside the bank. Okay, whenever you deposit money into the bank or cash into the bank will receive the money, isn't it? So the bank will credit in your account, but in your book you will write it as debit. Okay, we will see that how that debit and credit is affecting. Whenever you receive the money, you must have noticed that your account has been credited. But if you make any kind of payment, okay, then the bank, it gives you the message as debited. So I will explain that part, okay, when we reach a chapter called bank reconciliation statement, okay, or simply BRS. Okay, we will understand that, okay, in that chapter. So bank is actually increasing, your bank account is increasing, which means the money is going inside your bank account. So money is coming in, the cash comes in. Okay, so debit what comes in, real account. Cash, when you deposit cash into the bank, cash actually goes out of your pocket. Okay, cash gets decreased. Okay, cash will be deposited into the bank account, so cash is going out. So here it will be credited. Okay, but if you pull out money from the bank for office purpose, then the entry will be just be reversed of it. Okay, so it will be cash account debit to bank account, and the golden rule will also be the same. Okay, cash will increase, that is cash comes in debit, and the bank will be credited. Okay, now the third entry, purchased goods from Raju. So you are purchasing goods from Raju, and I have already mentioned out here before we start the journal entries that this is a credit transaction. Okay, what are the credit transactions, what are cash transactions? Okay, we have already discussed this out here. So simply we are talking about the journal entry out here. So we will write this. So you are purchasing goods from Raju. So you will write purchase. Okay, you will not write goods account or stock in trade account. No, you will not write that. You will simply write purchase account. Okay, now purchase will be debited and Raju will be credited. Now what is the golden rule out here? Purchase is actually your expenditure. Whenever you purchase anything, okay, as an individual, it is your expenditure, isn't it? If you purchase books, if you purchase copies, if you purchase any kind of pen, if you purchase storybooks, okay, so that is your expenditure. And expenditure are nominal account. We know that, we know the golden rule, isn't it? So debit all the expenses. So that is why you have to debit the purchase account. Okay, and Raju, any name of a person, okay, be it Raju or your friends, okay, like Subhojit, okay, Anil, Ajay, Ajit, okay, Rahul, State Bank of India, okay, Bajaj Finance, okay, Spencer's, KFC, Inox, Pantaloons, okay, Arrows, Resort, this etc. etc. Whatever it is. All these are personal account. So Raju, being a personal account, he is actually giving the goods to you. He is selling goods to you, isn't it? He is giving the goods on credit to you. So he is giving the goods away, isn't it? So credit the giver. So you have to credit Raju. Okay. So personal account rule, credit the giver. So that is why Raju is credited out here. Okay. Now the fourth entry, Madan Mohan account debit to sales account. Now Madan Mohan is a personal account. So it will be debited. If you as a seller, if you sell anything on credit to any person, that person will happily accept the goods because you are selling on credit. Okay, so that person will receive the goods. So debit the receiver, personal account. So Madan Mohan is a personal account. So Madan Mohan is receiving the goods out here. Okay, if you sell to someone, okay, if you are selling any goods to someone, it means that you are giving the goods, you are transferring the ownership, okay, and that person is receiving that goods. So he is receiving, so he is the receiver. So Madan Mohan is a receiver out here. So Madan Mohan, being a personal account, will be debited. Okay, now sales. For any business house, any business unit, sales is actually the source of income. Okay, so sales is your income. So sales is a nominal account. Okay, now nominal account, golden rule, credit all incomes. So that is why you are crediting the sales account. Okay, now this one on 6th April, received from Madan Mohan. So you are receiving cash from Madan Mohan. Okay, so you are receiving the cash from Madan Mohan. So cash account debit to Madan Mohan account. Now why cash is debited? Because you are receiving money from someone else. So the cash is coming in, isn't it? If you receive pocket money from your parents, then the cash, it comes to you, isn't it? So cash is coming in. So cash account will be debited. Okay. And Madan Mohan. Madan Mohan is a personal account. So Madan Mohan, he is giving you the cash. So he is a giver. So Madan Mohan, being a personal account, he will be credited. Okay. And remember that after passing each and every single entry, you have to draw a line out here. Okay, just like this. Okay, only in the particulars column. Okay, only in the particulars column you will draw a line. Okay. Now I'm going to the next page. So see, I have not drawn the lines out here just to show you. See how it is looking. Okay, it's looking quite. It is something like, what do you say? It's not looking that good, isn't it? It's looking absurd. Okay, like if you eat anything, okay, if you are eating something, okay, be it aludam or any kind of dish, okay, that you like the most, but there is no salt in it, how will that food taste? So it is just like this. Okay, but if you draw a line, see, it's looking so beautiful now. Okay, anyway, so now whenever you go to the next page in your copy, okay, again you have to draw the columns, okay, and write date, particulars, LF, okay, and then the debit amount and then the credit amount. Okay, date, particulars, LF here in this place, okay, LF, debit amount and credit amount, and then you can start your journal entries. Okay, but I have not drawn out here because it is a time-taking process, and by default in this Microsoft Word, it becomes like this. So excuse me for that. Okay, now let's move to the next entry, that is paid salary. So now you are paying salary to your worker. So salary, if you are paying salary to the worker, then it is your expenditure, because you are the owner and you are giving the salary, so it is your expenditure. But yeah, if you are an employee working in some company and you are receiving the salary, then it is your income. Okay, if you receive the salary, it is your income, but if you are paying the salary, then it will be your expenditure. Okay, so as an owner, salary is your expenditure. So expenditure is a nominal account, debit all expenses. That is why the salary account is debited. Okay, and cash, you are giving away the cash, isn't it? So cash is a real account. Credit, what goes out, the cash is going out of your pocket, isn't it? So cash will be credited by 190. Okay, I'm not talking about the amounts out here, because the amounts are very simple and it's given out here only. Okay, now the next entry, that is furniture account. So furniture, sorry, purchased furniture. So you are purchasing furniture. So whenever you purchase anything, as I already said, that you cannot use the term purchase. Only in terms of, sorry, only in case of goods, you have to write the term purchase, otherwise you will not write. Okay, so you will write the name of a furniture account, debit to cash account. So this is your entry. Okay, so both furniture and cash, they are real account. Okay, so when you purchase furniture, furniture is actually coming in. Okay, furniture comes inside your business. Okay, furniture is increased, so debit the furniture, and cash is going out, credit it. Okay, now wages, so it is similar to salary. Okay, so wages account, debit to cash account. Wages is your expenditure, so nominal account, debit it. Okay, and cash, real account, cash is going out, so you will credit it. Okay, so now what is the difference between the salary and the wages? Salary, actually you pay to the skilled laborers, and wages you pay to the unskilled laborers. Okay, salary you pay to the indirect laborers, and wages you pay to the direct laborers. Okay, who are unskilled or who works in a factory area. But salary you pay to those who are skilled laborers and they work in the office. Okay, they manage your books of accounts. They can be managers. Okay, sales managers, accountants. Okay, so that is your salary. But the wages you pay to the uh, factory workers. Okay, now the second last transaction, cash, sorry, received commission. So you are receiving commission in form of cash, so cash will be debited and commission received will be credited. So cash is a real account, so cash comes in when you receive commission. Cash actually comes in to your pocket, isn't it? So cash gets increased, so cash will be debited. And commission received, so receiving commission is actually the income, so commission received is nominal account, so credit all incomes, so it is an income for you, so commission received account will be credited out here. Okay, so commission are of two types, one is received and the other one is paid or allowed. Okay, so uh, that's why when you receive commission, simply write received. Okay, but if you are making any kind of payment to the commission, then you can simply write commission. Okay, now paid to his creditor Raju, so you are paying to Raju. Okay, so Raju is a personal account and cash is a real account, so you are paying to Raju, so Raju is receiving the money. So when you give cash to someone else, he will receive happily, isn't it? So Raju is a personal account, so Raju will be debited. Why Raju will be debited? because he is a receiver. He is receiving the cash from you, isn't it? So Raju, personal account, debit the receiver. Now cash. Cash is a real account. Cash is going out. So cash should be credited. Okay. So this is how you prepare journal entries. And after the journal entries are over, you can simply close it. Okay. You draw a line. No need to find the total of it. Okay. It doesn't make any sense. So you have to draw lines out here. Okay. So that the entries can be separated. Okay. So don't draw the lines out here in the amount column or in the date column. Okay, only in the particulars column you have to draw a line after each and every single journal entries. Okay, and don't write journal entries out here. Okay, some people they write here journal entries. I don't know why they write journal entries out here. No, this is not journal entries. This is your journal. This entire set of book, what you have prepared here, is known as your journal. This is called journal, okay, which is the primary book of entry. And each and every transaction, what you have recorded out here, is known as journal entry. Okay, so I hope you have understood how to prepare this journal entry from question number 2. So you can practice question number 1. Okay, you can try by yourself question number 1, question number 3 by yourself. Okay.